All right.
There are more layers then.
Yeah, you're outnumbered.
That's true. Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Government's Committee meeting of the Bethlehem IDA. My name is Victor Franco, the chair of the committee. It's currently 8:01, and just like to go around the room and for introductions.
Sure. Catherine Hedgeman, Executive Director and Agency Counsel.
Alexis Carlin, Associate at Hedgeman Law Firm.
Richard Cotler, board member from IDA.
Jillian Moore, intern at Hedgeman Law.
All right. And as I previously said, Victor Franco, chair of the committee. We now can establish quorum. We have 2 out of 3 committee members present with us today. Like to call your attention, next order of business is approval of the minutes, which was previously distributed. Are there any edits or discussion required? All right, being none, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Okay. Moving on to new business. So as we discussed last year, as chair of the committee, what I'd like to do is kind of like each meeting tackle 2 items. The first item being kind of like a more meatier, substantive, where we really need to take a deep dive on something. And then the second one more of like easy lift. Okay. And then every time we meet, we're going to add 2 more things to the agenda, as we whittle away and accomplish the 2 prior items. Okay. So as we begin 2026, this being our first committee meeting, the 2 items that we're going to kind of address first are the financial assistance policy and the board member training. The financial assistance being one of the more meatier items. This is currently what we have for the financial procedures and fees of the Bethlehem IDA. So I'm giving it to members here, and then I'll email it to everybody also, just so that you have a soft copy of this. But take the next couple months to review this, mark it up, and then come prepared to the next committee meeting with any edits or changes needed. We'll have a working committee meeting in order to pass any changes along to the full board. Okay. Does anybody else want a copy?
And we did this a few years ago too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
we updated the one section on fees.
Yeah.
Only. We didn't do a whole.
Right. Yeah. And just the subnote here is that it was updated October 26, 2022.
And can I make a recommendation? Can we change the agenda so the title is the same? Because this is the document on our website, and I was confused because I was trying to find financial assistance policy.
Oh yeah, I got you. See
Okay.
the title of the.
There
document.
wasn't a financial. So
Yeah.
I read through this. I assumed it was, but I thought there was something else that wasn't on the website that we're going to discuss.
I
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Duly noted, and we'll update that for future.
Yeah.
And on the agenda.
Right. Exactly.
Got it.
Right. Okay. So the next item, which is the easier lift, is the board member training. So part of the preview of the governance committee is to basically provide and make sure that we're in compliance with any types of rules, regulations, state or otherwise. So one of the things that that we brought up at the last general meeting was board training. So I thought to myself, what does that exactly mean, board training? So I think there's like 2 parallel tracks. The first one is kind of like the ABO required training. And then the second one is the internals training. Okay. So if we look at those 2 separate tracks, the ABO currently and within their, so they issued policy guidance back in January 27th of 2017. which basically states, as a best practice, the ABO recommends that directors participate in refresher training upon reappointment to the board, or at least every 3 years. Okay. As I try to go back through committee records, I really couldn't find any record of any time anybody was trained. So as a result, I stopped looking. And then I was like, you know what? Let's get everybody, irregardless of their participation on other boards outside the Bethlehem IDA or not, get them on a 3-year track, a 3-year cycle, so that this way, when it comes to ABO training at least, so that this way we know, okay, everybody was trained in 2026, therefore we don't have to renew until 2029, and then kind of do a 3-year cycle thereof. The good news is that the ABO is providing online training. The first one is Wednesday, February 11th from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning. And then the next one after that is Friday, February 20th from 9:30 to 11 o'clock, also online. Okay, and it looks like they have a pattern every month. They hold at least 2 online, so there really shouldn't be any excuse why somebody couldn't take an online training to get ABO, trained.
Is
So-
it the same session, or they do different topics?
I believe the same.
It is
Yeah.
updated, like, I wouldn't say it's updated every year, but it's updated probably almost every 3 years.
Oh,
It gets a
there you
little
go.
bit
There
different,
you go.
but it's the same general topic.
Yeah, and because there's a new
It's a
there,
general,
It's not
yeah, it's a general,
yeah.
or freshman.
right,
It really is horrible.
right.
Wait till you see mine.
But it's just one of those compliance things that I don't know if there's like an award at the end of the year or whatever, but at least we can get on track
Okay,
with that
I-
stuff. Yeah.
2 hours of my life is horrible training.
and then of course there's the interior track, which Kate has discussed at previous board meetings. I don't know if you want to discuss further in terms of what you had in mind for the interior training.
Sure. So we've started to work on really 2 different topics. The one being all the general municipal law and public authorities law requirements and the sort of the why behind it, where it comes from in the statute, open meetings law, procurement, FOIL, like all, fiduciary duties of board members, all that good stuff, public officers law. But then you have more of the specific stuff to the IDA and really digging down into the general municipal law where what you need to be looking at when you're evaluating projects, because literally there's a list in the statute, and a lot of IDAs also use a matrix like to score when you review projects and things like that. So I want to go over the general assistance that we offer, what it means, what our process is again, which is outlined in the financial and the UTEP, and sort of connect all these dots for everybody in that here's why I'm telling you what you need to look at, and here's how it translates into reviewing not only an application, but ultimately voting for that tax incentive. Like, what are the legal requirements for you to be able, for that applicant to meet to be able to approve that? So it's sort of like a general overview of all the things that board members need to know, but then really digging down into what your process is. And usually out of that comes some organic governance type things, like we really should, or we ought to reconsider, or, we might need to make a change to a policy because we should be doing it this way, but nothing says that, right? So I think that that's going to help to drive this committee's agenda, and probably add a few items as they pop up and questions that people have that we probably would have to address.
Right. So one of the things over the years, and Kate and her firm has tried to endeavor to set this actually up. And it's like herding cats. So part of being able to herd cats is to set up the parameters.
Just to herd the cats.
to herd the cats.
Yeah.
So, if we can establish 3 dates in May that we can then advance to the board and say, okay, out of these 3 dates, what can people make? And then, the majority will decide, and then that will bound the entire board in order to attend that day for the training. So given the calendar and how everything kind of flows with the organization, thinking, I don't know, like May 22nd, which is a Friday.
Before Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
No. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, then people might be off, so they have plenty of time. So Monday, Memorial Day.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be off.
Yeah.
What do you call it? May the 18th, which is Monday morning. And I'm
Well, I don't
assuming
know.
we're staying away from weekends,
Okay, I
right?
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
I think that's not good for me, to tell you the truth. I think I have to check my dates. But we could have it in Crete, for Athens.
Okay. All right. Should we move it or a little bit the week before, maybe?
Is that my problem? That's my problem. I just want to check when I'm back.
Okay.
From,
So you're saying like the 11th?
I know you are. Well,
No, the 11th is like 2 days prior to our board meeting on the 13th.
Oh, yeah, that's a big commitment for the week.
So you don't
Unless-
have 2 commitments. I mean, if our board meeting isn't heavy agenda-wise, we could replace the board meeting into training on the 13th.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Yeah, right. In lieu of a Friday, in lieu of a Monday.
I'm going to the 21st of May. I don't get back until the 22nd of May.
Are you around the
When do you
13th?
leave? Yeah.
No, I'm not around in May.
Oh, you're not around
But-
me.
You can have it without me, you'd probably be more productive.
But not as entertaining, Dick.
Yeah.
That's true.
I leave, the 4th I have an infusion. The 5th, I go to Greece. I return on the 21st. So that's my May. I'm sorry, if I only knew, I would have booked the home one.
Well, Victor, the
the
29th,
29th.
I don't know if there's a reason you didn't pick that, but that is not. Memorial Day is the 25th, so the 29th, that's a Friday, that would work.
Okay.
3/29.
That works fine with me.
Should we still throw out
The board.
to the board, the 13th in lieu of a meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be there,
Right.
which is fine.
Yeah.
I think the backup then could be the June 10th, the June meeting. That could be a backup, like if,
Yeah, June 10th is good.
I mean, unless barring we get a project, I don't think there's going to be a ton of stuff. Like we're working through some marketing things we might want feedback on. And of course, if we make headway with governance, it might be a policy change, but I don't see anything really heavy after March right
Even
now.
if we get a project, that's pushing it on the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Because
not gonna,
It
yeah,
wouldn't probably come in until the zoning is updated.
right. And yeah,
So
that's not done
probably
yet.
April at the
Yeah.
earliest.
I
so-
think June 10th would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Because you can have a combined board meeting training. You have a
Yeah.
2-hour board meeting.
Yeah.
I think that,
All right, well, there's 3 dates at least we can,
Okay.
because everybody's had June 10th, has anybody told you they're not going to be here yet?
no.
Because you haven't said you're not going to be here, you're going to be here.
I should be, yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the rest of the.
Oh, right,
Compel them.
What?
It compels them.
yeah. Okay, awesome.
All right, good. So we'll throw those 3 dates out to the board, see what they say. So that is that. One of the things that, kind of like we'll kick around is kind of like just an attendance policy for the board itself. Of course, that spills over into board meeting attendance, committee attendance, and then specialized mandatory training, such as what we're trying to get off the ground. And correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, there's nothing within the manual that dictates any type of attendance policy. And again, you can't really hold somebody accountable if it isn't written down, and it's not really fair to anybody to hold them something that's invisible, right?
And
So,
wouldn't it have been nice for us to say, when you came on, like,
Yeah.
here's what the expectation is? I mean,
right.
we tell you verbally, but.
Yeah. And Victoria did kind of
Yeah.
like either
Yeah.
during the interview or after, I can't remember when, she definitely laid down the law. Okay, these are the expectations. We are a working board, so on and so forth. And then, you kind of took it from there. So either like
And
somebody.
you killed it.
Yeah, thank you. So either somebody takes it seriously or they don't take it seriously. But again, you're right, there is nothing in writing. So I think at the next governance meeting, we'll kind of develop a policy, written policy, circulate that in advance so that could be one of the easy lifts for the next governance meeting. So that is that. Before we talk about the next committee meeting when it's scheduled, just want to say in terms of like the ABO, they issued governance review, which looked at the use of executive session. I was very relieved to see that a lot of those policies, if not all, we basically adhere to and follow. So there's no really change in protocol, no change in operation that we need to kind of be aware of, because we do a pretty good job in ensuring that we stay even keeled.
And Jillian did that memo that we sent around.
Okay, so thank you for that. That was very helpful. And then also back in October of 2025, they also did a website transparency review that looked back over a period from 2021 to 2024. The Bethlehem IDA was part of that, but I'm relieved to say that it was conducted on March 17th of 2022, well before I was appointed on the board. And I think because of that, that's when the board itself stepped up and revitalized its website, made it very compliant to that review.
That's when the transition occurred. Like, I came on,
right,
and we really, I think Dick for a while was looking at the website saying, because I remember when I came on, Dick's like, we got to take care of this. And it just so happened that March we got hit with, hey, you're missing all these things. It was a nice letter,
yeah.
But I think a lot of that had to do with just the website was old and it was hard to update, and nobody really knew how to do it. So that's when we got the new website that we have currently, at least so that we could do something with it.
Yeah.
But so we met the requirements and we submitted a letter back, and they took another look and said, good to go. So
right. Well, good. Yeah. And the only thing is that we just have to remember that it should be a living, breathing site, and who's responsible for that? Is it the vendor that we hired to create it in the first place, or is it the marketing committee?
So with governance updates, meetings, all that, in some form or another, it's Alexis, me, and Brianne, and we make sure that now it's in Bella's board and it's on the website, and then we send it to Melissa, who's our webmaster, and she puts it up there, which is really probably the best way to do it, because at any given time, Brianne could have to be working on something else, or and it's one of those weird like you have to know how to update it on the back end. So Melissa does that for us.
Okay.
And she's pretty good.
And Melissa's with the vendor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. She's pretty good too. Mostly it's same day. You know what I mean? Because she understands we're a public authority, and you know, if we're late getting an agenda out, like it needs to, you know,
Right.
get up. So,
Right.
but we send the content and she actually puts it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
Back on attendance, are we,
You can go.
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, attendance is only one element, you know. I mean, we don't have term limits.
Right.
Okay? We serve at the whim of the board, of the
Town board.
town board. As far as I'm concerned, the town board really has no interaction with us. So they really may or may not know what we do or how we interact with on the group.
We're gonna fix that.
Okay, but this is all part of that same document. Should be, you know, expectations of the town of our performance. But no, I think that's equally as important. I think term limits should be, somewhere or another, we should get reapproved.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some IDAs that appoint to a specific term. And then there's others that it's just until we tell you you're done. And that's kind of the way that we've done it. I mean,
And I mean, correct me if
and I
I'm
think
wrong,
that's
because
by
I'm not an
local law.
attorney,
Yeah.
but I think that goes well beyond the attendance policy of things. That actually goes into the bylaws, you know.
Right, if the town is gonna change that, yeah.
Okay,
Right,
but if we're gonna talk about attendance, you know, I just think it's the whole thing. It's just part of what we should talk about.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
expectation.
Right. Yeah. And maybe we can use the conversation about the attendance policy as a means to go into the re-review of the bylaws, and does the town want us to have term limits, and how does that look, and how long is the term, and you know, stuff like that. Yeah. You
Have you
know,
ever seen something where it's not like a term limit, but it's like a re-review every X number of years? Like,
Yeah, usually it's
a reappointment.
a reappointment,
Right.
and it's more of an administrative function,
right.
but it does give the opportunity to the town board to, like, at least a point in time when they can say, you know what, you know, we're gonna appoint someone else.
It also gives the board member the opportunity
Yes,
to say, okay, my term is up and I don't want to go again, versus having to resign. And it's weird how we have resignations like the day after a board meeting, or, you know, it isn't like, I don't recall somebody say, I'm going to resign at the end of the year.
Right.
Okay.
So, I mean, you know, I say this with tongue in cheek and a little bit of candor. You know, I'm sorry to hear you're looking for an exit strategy. You're pushing term limits really hard here.
No,
I
I have no problem about resigning tomorrow.
I'm just kidding. Like I
Right
said,
on.
tongue in cheek.
No,
Yeah.
But I do think as a governance area, it's easier not to remove somebody when their term's up.
Right. And it gives them a graceful exit out.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's definitely
it's a
that's a
great
bigger
point.
nut. Yeah,
Great
it's
point.
definitely a bigger nut to crack. Okay. Great. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay. So if there's no other new business or no other items of discussion, I just want to remind people and those at home that our next committee meeting is scheduled for May 7th, bright and early at 8 a.m. here at the town hall.
You won't have a forum if John's not here.
All right, well, we'll make sure,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Unless we have it approved.
So I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All those in favor? Thank you. We are now adjourned at 8:25. Thank you.
Wow, lightning fast.
I
Okay,
don't
on the
play.
7th, you wanted at 8, not at 8:30.
Correct.